But I can actually prove my innocence. I actually can. And I'm not going to stop fighting to prove my innocence.
She stood in a Las Vegas courtroom after already pleading guilty to killing the father of her children, then looked the judge in the eye, with his family sitting there listening, and claimed she was innocent. She said she had proof, but the victim's head was never found. The only person who knew where it disappeared to was standing right there pretending she had nothing to do with it. What the judge did next turned the entire courtroom upside down.
Ms. Michaels, you are not to address the state. You are to address me. You are. You're addressing Mr. Giordani. You are going to address me. What do you want me to say? What do you want to say to me?
Her name is Devyn Michaels, 47 years old, a mother of 2 daughters, and a former adult film actress living in Henderson, Nevada. To the people around her, she was a co-parent managing a shared life with Jonathan Willette, the father of her girls. That was the version she made available to the outside world. What nobody was supposed to know was that Devyn was also married to Jonathan's adult son from a previous relationship, a young man named Devyn Willette, not just involved with, married to, legally. When police asked about it, both Devyn and Devyn gave the same explanation. It was a marriage of convenience, an insurance arrangement, nothing more. That explanation held up until investigators looked at it directly, and then it fell apart completely. Which leaves the one question that has to be asked. How long had Devyn been maintaining both of these lives at the same time, and did Jonathan Willette have any idea at all? Devyn eventually pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. Under that deal, she would be eligible for parole after 15 years, and the case looked like it was heading toward a quiet close. Then came sentencing day. She stood before the judge and opened with an apology to Jonathan's family. That much was expected. What came next was not. In the same speech, without pause, she told the court she was innocent, that she could prove it, and that she had no intention of stopping until she did. She said people around her had pressured her into the plea, and evidence had been altered so that the wrong person was about to go to prison. The courtroom did not stay quiet. The judge had to call order. Her own attorney stood up and moved to withdraw from the case on the spot. The prosecutor, rather than push back, offered to take it straight to trial. The judge agreed, pulled the guilty plea, and Devyn Michaels, who had just negotiated 15 years, was now facing a first-degree murder charge with nothing to fall back on. Her words, pulled directly from the court record, "I can actually prove my innocence. I actually can, and I'm not going to stop fighting to prove my innocence."
Ms. Michaels, what, if anything, would you like to say before I pronounce sentence against you?
There's so much I want to say. Jonathan was very special, very unique, and I know no matter what I say at this moment, I know right now no one in the family is going to believe me. I know right now no one in the family feels that I am innocent at any point, and I understand that, but I can actually prove my innocence. I actually can, and I'm not going to stop fighting to prove my innocence. I have more than enough, and Jonathan deserves to have the actual person who's guilty behind bars. I was helping Jonathan. I can show that I was trying to help him, and this I know is hurting the family, and I can see it in your faces, and I know your hearts are angry, and they should be, and I'm angry for you. And this is not fair to you. This has been dragging out for almost 2 years. It's not fair to you. And it's not fair to his children. Any of them. And it's not right. It really isn't. It's not. I've seen so much that it's just terrible. The way that they manipulated and altered and deleted things is wrong. They should not be able to do it, and they have. And for you to be able to look me in the eye knowing that the things are altered and...
You pled guilty, man.
Ms. Michaels, you are not to address the state. You are to address me. You are. You're addressing Mr. Giordani. You are going to address me. What do you want me to say? What do you want to say to me?
My apologies. I wasn't trying to address the state directly. It's just... I was told. I just told one thing after another, and I truly believed that we were going to do the right thing, and it just didn't happen. I am so sorry for all of this, but I am so sorry. But I didn't do this, and I didn't know this would end up like this. I really didn't. And I will forever apologize to the family. But I don't know how to fix any of this anymore. I don't. I keep listening to what everyone tells me is the best thing to do. Just do this and it'll work out this way, and follow this advice and we'll do this. And I keep listening to the people because they keep saying this is the best advice. It doesn't turn out the way they tell me it will. And it just gets worse and worse. And I don't know what to do anymore.
If this story is already hitting and you are not subscribed, now is a good time. Because what investigators actually found is the part that makes that courtroom speech very difficult to believe. So what was her proof? And what did the evidence actually say? What the evidence says is this: Clark County court records, Henderson Police Department reports, trial testimony, and forensic expert findings all confirmed Devyn Michaels killed Jonathan Willette. A Las Vegas jury convicted her of first-degree murder with a deadly weapon.
We, the jury, in the above-entitled case, find the defendant, Devyn Jade Michaels, as follows. Count 1, murder with use of a deadly weapon. Guilty of first-degree murder with use of a deadly weapon. Dated this 14th day of November, 2025, signed Aaron Gilded. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your verdict as read? So say you one, so say you all?
Yes.
Judge Tiara Jones sentenced her to a minimum of 28 years before she is eligible for parole. This is the jury's verdict and the judge's ruling, sourced, verified, and on the record. The only thing left to understand is what investigators found inside that house, inside her car, and inside her own home that made this case as clear as it turned out to be.
Pursuant to the jury's verdict, you're going to be adjudicated guilty of first-degree murder with use of a deadly weapon. In addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee, your DNA was taken in 2022, so it's waived. The $3 DNA assessment fee, you're going to be ordered to pay $5,000 in restitution to victims of crime. You're going to be sentenced to 240 months to life in the Nevada Department of Corrections. There's going to be a consecutive 96 to 240 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections for the deadly weapon enhancement, and as of today, you have 780 days credit for time served.
Jonathan's phone was found inside her car, and what was on it confirmed she had been at the scene. His social security card was in her purse. His wallet, his ID, and his car keys were found hidden in a plastic bag inside her underwear drawer. These were not things a person holds onto by accident. Cell phone data placed Devyn at the Henderson home during the window of the crime, and when she left, Jonathan's phone left with her, both devices traveling together from his mother's house to Devyn's residence. arriving around 2:45 in the morning. At her home, the phone ended up in the driveway. The people who found it and brought it to police were Devyn's 2 daughters, the same girls Jonathan had just won sole custody of, the same children he was moving closer to. They handed investigators one of the most critical pieces of evidence in the case against their own mother. Then there is what Devyn told investigators herself. During a police interview, she described what she had done with Jonathan's head after he was killed. While she was talking, a trash truck drove past outside. She pointed to it and told the detective that Jonathan had gone, "Bye-bye. If you have not shared this video yet, this is the moment." Because what kind of person says that? Jonathan Willette was 46 years old, a father and a son, and by the summer of 2023 he had just won something that mattered deeply to him: sole custody of his 2 daughters. He was not pulling away from his family. He was doing the opposite, moving back in, trying to close the distance between himself and his girls. His mother, Yoko Willette, had opened her home to make that transition possible. On the night of August 7th, he was face down and completely unaware when he was struck. He never had a chance to react. His head was never recovered. What happened inside that house that night is where this story goes next. August 7th, 2023, Henderson, Nevada. Yoko Willette, Jonathan's mother, saw her son and Devyn together inside the house around 10 p.m. that night. Nothing she observed gave her any reason to worry. She went to sleep. Around 3 a.m., she woke up to a loud noise. By the time anyone understood what that noise meant, Jonathan Willette was already gone. He had been lying face down, receiving a massage, completely relaxed, with no reason to expect anything other than what it appeared to be. Devyn described the moment to detectives herself. Her exact words: "He didn't say anything. He stopped moving." What was found at the scene confirmed the rest. Jonathan's body showed evidence that chemicals had been applied to it. His head had been removed, transported from the house in a laundry basket, driven across the city, and thrown into a neighborhood trash bin. It was never recovered. 2 days after Jonathan was killed, Devyn Michaels walked into a courtroom for an unrelated child abuse charge and was sentenced to probation, while the murder investigation was already building around her. Henderson police arrested her on August 15th, 2023, 8 days after Jonathan died.
I've done counseling classes, therapy, drug tests, psych evaluations. I've done everything, and everyone I've spoken to say I'm not an abusive person, and they don't feel there's any risk for me to abuse her or would ever do this again.
When the trial began, Devyn's defense had one move: point the finger at Devyn Willette, Jonathan's son and Devyn's husband. The argument was that he was the one responsible for his father's death, not her. The problem with that theory was the evidence. Police had never named Devyn as a suspect. They had interviewed him multiple times and never charged him. He took the stand himself and denied any involvement. And when investigators looked for physical evidence, cell phone data, or video footage placing Devyn at the scene that night, they found none. What they did find pointed in one direction: texts, surveillance footage, cell phone records, and a timeline that placed Devyn at the scene during the window of the crime. All of it leading toward the same conclusion.
Ultimately learn that Nikki is arrested, correct?
Yes, sir.
When is it, if you remember, that you learn she's arrested for the murder of your dad?
I want to say a week afterwards, maybe 2 weeks.
Okay. So somewhere in the range of a week or 2 weeks after the actual death.
Yes, sir.
In the interim, before she gets arrested and after your dad's death, do you remain at Porcupine Rim?
Yes, sir.
Do you question, what happened to your dad?
Yes, sir.
Are there a lot of kind of unanswered questions you have during that time frame?
Yes, sir.
Did there come a point in time after her arrest that she contacted you from the detention center?
Yes, sir.
The jury took less than 2 hours. Guilty. First-degree murder with a deadly weapon. On January 8, 2026, Judge Tiara Jones sentenced Devyn Michaels to 20 years to life, with an additional consecutive 8 to 20 years for the deadly weapon enhancement. She will not see a parole hearing for a minimum of 28 years. At sentencing, she addressed the court one final time. Her exact words, "Anything I say, I cannot deliver what the families will look for. No matter what I say, they are still going to feel the same way."
Anything I say, it won't. The family's looking for certain things and I cannot deliver what the family's looking for. And they're here and I just want them to get their, at least part of their anger out. I know no matter what I say, they're still going to feel the same way. So just let them have their time, and that's all I can say.
Jonathan's daughters found his phone in the driveway and handed it to the police. His mother woke up to a noise in the middle of the night and never saw her son again. His head was never found. If this story stayed with you, the next video on your screen is waiting.